She humiliated me in front of our children.
She said it at dinner like it was a joke she'd been holding on to all day. "You know," she said, swirling her wine, "you were my biggest mistake in my youth." The words landed heavier than the clink of cutlery. Our 8-year-old son froze mid-bite. Our daughter looked between us, confused. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't argue. I set my fork down carefully and looked at her face, trying to recognize the woman I'd built my life with. "Then I'll fix that now," I said. I stood up, kissed both kids on the head, grabbed my keys, and walked out. I drove to a hotel on the edge of the city and sat on the bed staring at the wall. Part of me expected my phone to explode with apologies. It didn't. Near midnight, I finally texted her asking if she wanted me to come home. Her reply came quickly and told me everything I needed to know. "Do whatever you want." That night, clarity replaced denial. The late nights, the sudden privacy around her phone, the trips that didn't add up, they all aligned. I remembered the location-sharing app we'd once installed and forgotten about. I opened it. Her dot was moving at 2 in the morning, heading somewhere unfamiliar. I watched until it stopped at a townhouse. I drove there. Her car was in the driveway, another car beside it. A man stepped out later, relaxed, comfortable, like this was routine. Then she appeared, laughing in a way I hadn't heard in months. I took photos, timestamps included, and left without confronting anyone. By morning, I wasn't angry. I was methodical. I listed every account, asset, policy, and document tied to our life. Then I called a divorce attorney known for discretion. By mid-morning, I was sitting across from her, handing over evidence. She didn't flinch. She just nodded and said, "You're ready." Over the next day, I uncovered more than an affair. Money had been moved quietly, plans made without me, documents prepared behind my back. When I went back to that townhouse again, I saw my wife let herself in with a key. That hurt more than the photos. Then came the call I never expected. I called my mother, hoping for grounding, honesty, something familiar. Instead, she hesitated when I asked if she knew. That pause answered everything. She'd known about the affair. She'd helped cover it, believing my wife would figure things out. I hung up without yelling, without goodbye, realizing betrayal sometimes wears the face you trust most. 72 hours after I walked out, I came home. She acted relieved, even smug, like I'd proven her right by returning. I played along, not because I was weak, but because I needed time. That time paid off. Federal agents called me 2 days later. The man she was seeing wasn't just a lover, he was a protected witness in an ongoing investigation. Her involvement had raised alarms. I cooperated fully, handed over everything I had, and followed instructions to keep quiet. That night, while organizing documents in my office, I found something that made my hands shake. Adoption papers for our children, with my forged signature. Papers meant to remove me from their lives and replace me. I photographed everything and sent it to my lawyer. The next morning, my son's school called. He brought in a voice recorder. On it was his mother's voice, calmly discussing plans to leave me, move money, and disappear once she had enough. My 8-year-old had carried that secret because he thought it might protect us. I held him and told him he did the right thing. Then I promised him something silently, that this would end. The emergency custody hearing came fast. My lawyer presented everything: the affair, the forged documents, the recording, the federal investigation. When my wife tried to counter with a psychological report claiming I was unstable, it fell apart in minutes. The doctor was connected to her lover. The report was fake. The judge granted me full temporary custody and referred the case for criminal review. After that, the fight left her. She asked to settle. She gave up claims to my business, accepted a fraction of what she thought she'd get, and agreed to supervised visits. I didn't feel victorious. I felt finished. Months passed. The house grew lighter. My kids slept through the night again. The business thrived without chaos bleeding into it. One afternoon at a school event, I ran into someone from my past. We talked, nothing dramatic, just normal. Later that night, sitting alone, I thought about her words at that dinner. "You were my biggest mistake in my youth." She was right, just not the way she meant. The mistake wasn't that I wasn't enough. The mistake was believing loyalty didn't need protection, that silence was strength, that love meant enduring disrespect. I fixed that mistake, not with revenge, not with shouting, but by walking away, protecting my children, and choosing a life where I no longer had to prove my worth to someone who never deserved it.